we cannot be having this conversation if you've not even gone through that session, right? How to maximize your product management skills beyond getting a job. Please, I urge you to listen to the session if you have not, right? If you're not listening to that session, then you need to go and listen to it, because there is there is there is how will I put it now? A lot of the, if you have the foundation of what we discussed last 2 Saturdays and then last week Saturday. So 2 Saturdays ago we talked about how to maximize your product management skills beyond just getting a job, right? Next year. You need to go and listen to that session. Then last week Saturday we talked about mindsets, right? And I remember that session was a very personal session for me, right? Because I had to like put myself out there in the process of trying to communicate what I wanted to share with the house, right? Um, so, but in a nutshell, those 2 sessions are a very solid foundation or baseline for today's conversation, because if you do not have that baseline, then talking about how to become a successful product manager in 2025 is going to be it's not going to be holistic if you do not have the baseline of, okay, I can leverage product management beyond just getting a job, and and the mindset that you need to have, because for anything to be successful, especially for all of us as human beings, we need a certain type of mindset. There's a mindset that we need to have, right? Which we discussed last week, Saturday, and then the 2 Saturdays before then. So, but for today, I'll just go straight to the point. We want to talk about how to become a successful product manager next year, right? How to become a successful product manager. And success is going to mean different things for different people. And that's where I'm going to start from. But like we discussed in the conversation about goal setting, I think we also had a meeting on goal setting, maybe like last week's Tuesday. I think it was last week Tuesday, or maybe today is Saturday. Yeah, this past Tuesday, I think we had a session on goal setting. And again, that session Tuesday, I think the recording was sent to the community group. So all these sessions, right, just in case you missed any one of them, you want to find the recordings. You want to find the recording for this session and then go and listen to those recordings, because it's going to really help, just in case you don't have that foundation for you to move forward from. So for you to become a successful product manager, then you must know what goals do you want to achieve. Because fundamentally, if you don't know where you're going, then how do you know? If you don't know where you are, how do you know where you want to get to? Which is very, very important. And I think I talked about that in that goal setting session that we had. You must know where you are for you to determine where you want to go to. But in a nutshell, let's just go straight to the core. I'm not going to do a lot of dilly-dallying. I'm just going to go and hit the nail on the head, right? For you to become a successful product manager next year, I'm focusing on 6 or 7 things primarily that I feel it is needed for every product manager to do well, regardless of you, whether you want to get a job, whether you want to, move from one job to another job, whether you want to make more, whether you just want to maybe transition into product management, or whether you're already transitioning and you're just trying to find your footing, regardless of wherever you are in your product management journey, right? This, I think, 6 things on how to become a successful product manager next year is going to interplay everybody, even myself that I'm talking to you. So number one thing that everybody should do going into next year for you to be a successful PM is to go back to the basics, right? And we're in an age where things are getting complicated every day. Like every day, things are getting more complicated. And sometimes I'm always just shaking my head whenever I see, if you go on social media and you see people talking about product management, I'll be like, is it the same product management that we are doing? Or is another product management? So these days now, people are carrying this thing upside down, or in the name of being advanced, we're not doing the most fundamental thing that is product management. And I always say, what is the fundamental thing of product management? Our primary responsibility as a product manager is to solve problems. Our secondary responsibility is to help businesses to make more money. If you forget those two things, if you like, be good with Jira, if you like, be good with product plan, if you like, be good with Trello, if you like, know all the agile framework, if you like, know all the Scrum framework, if you like, be good with prioritization, if you like, be good with roadmap. No matter whatever it is you're good at, if you do not know the basics, and the basics is simple, and I'm sure every one of you know the basics, solve problems, help businesses to make more money. It shocks me that people forget that basics. They are so focused on, many of you or many people are so focused on the product management process that they forget the basics of product management. And the basics of product management is simple. Find problems to solve, build, deliver a strategy that helps to help the company to make more money from solving the problems. So the number one thing here for you to become a successful product manager, regardless of your goal in 2025, is go back to the basics. Yes, understand all the product management process. Obviously, you need to understand all the product management process, right? But don't tie yourself down to the product management process. It's just a process. That's why it's a process. At the end of the day, there's a purpose behind the process, and the purpose is to solve problems. The purpose is to make money for your company, right? At the end of the day, that is the essence behind any company. Solve problems, make money. Solve problems, make money. That's the essence, right? No matter how good you are with any particular product management process, agile, hey, Scrum, hey, Kanban, hey, all these plenty terminologies that, they're like buzzwords that used to help people to look smart. When you see somebody talking about agile, sometimes you're like, is it the same agile? And they sound so smart. But at the end of the day, is it agile that is going to make money for the company? I can tell you emphatically, nope. Agile will just help to improve the process, maybe simplify the process. Obviously, simplify the process or the work process. But at the end of the day, if you're not solving a problem, if the business is not making money, no matter how agile the product manager is or the team is, none of it will matter at the end of the day if problems are not solved and the company is not making money. So you can only celebrate agile and celebrate all those things when the fundamental thing is being done. One, you're solving problems, frictions, challenges for a specific target users. Right? People get too encompassed into product management process that they just simply forget the basics. And if you want to do well as a product manager next year, focus on the basics. And the basics are simple. Focus on solving problems. Focus on removing frictions in your existing product. Focus on challenges that customers are complaining of in your existing product. All those framework, all those plenty gist. Again, I'm not saying they are bad, but I'm just saying they are not the end. They are just a process. And once you can understand that, there is process and then there is the end, it sort of makes life a little bit easier. Your basics is solving problems. Primarily, solve problems, remove friction points, trash out challenges that customers have. Right? Under this, going back to the basics, you want to be the advocate for the user and the customer. In today's world, too many people are too focused on the products that they forget the customer who they are building the product for. Let me say that again. Too many people or too many product managers are too focused on the product instead of the customers and the users they are building the product for. Right? And as popular as people talk about being customer-centric, being user-centric, as popular as that thing is, I can still tell you emphatically, I see God knows so many people building products without necessarily even understanding who they are building products for. I can even challenge you to do the research because I've done the research before. I think the most recent thing I did recently, I think I've even shared it with the community before, right? I said I did a research on startup founders and all, right? I spoke to like 15 startup founders sometimes in September, right? I didn't know them from Adam. I just requested for it on my LinkedIn. 15 startup founders filled the form, and I spoke with them. And I think I said it's one of these sessions I had, and I said 14 of them were not focused on the customer. Only one of them was focused on the customer. And it's only that one person that was focused on the customer that was even making money at the end of the day. Right. So if you want to do well in this product management space next year, you cannot afford to be all about your product, because at the end of the day, nobody cares about your product. People only care about what your products can do for them. Right. And these things are basics of product management. So I don't think I need to be explaining why you should be an advocate of the customer to you guys again. But I'm just here to remind you again that you want to do well next year, focus on the basics. Solving problems, being an advocate for the customer, work well with the people that build the solution, or work well with your team, right, that will build the solution. Let me put it that way. I'm coming. Work well with your team that will build the solution. And then ensure that customers use your product consistently. I consider the basics. Solve problems, be an advocate for the customer, work well with the team that builds the solution, ensure that customers use your product consistently. Right. So you cannot talk about being a successful product manager without talking about the basics of product management. Like, why would we talk about being successful and we don't talk about the basics? And like I said, in today's world where there's so much hype around people knowing how to do specific process, right? There's so much hype around specific processes in product management. AI, even in the world of AI, now that there's all this buzz around AI, right? No matter how you talk about being AI skilled, right? If you're not fundamentally solving a problem, then there's no purpose for your AI. There's no purpose. So if you like, know all the AI skill sets, understand machine learning models, all these buzzwords and, buzzwords in the tech space. If you are not fundamentally solving a problem, then there's not going to be any AI thingy. You just build AI and write, or get a team to write, create machine learning models that will just be a waste of money for the organization. So I'm here to remind you again, just in case you have forgotten, you want to do well next year in this space, focus on solving problems, frictions, challenges, right? Focus on solving problems. It's so fundamental, right? So I'm just going to move forward, because I'm sure everybody knows that at the basis of product management is solving problems, not even building products. And that's another thing. I think I've said it also, right? Too many times people focus on building the product instead of solving the problem. And it's two different things. It's not the same. It's one thing to solve the problem, it's another thing to build the product. And I always tell people something, right? And I should share it with you guys. When it comes to doing product management, there's something I've come to learn. I don't used to say it in a general circle. I used to say it in a much more closer circle, but let me just put it out there, since I'm in that giving spirit. I mean, the Holy Spirit is bringing it, so I want to pass it to you people. Now, when it comes to solving problems and doing product management, people focus too much on building the products. But one thing I always tell people, which is I'll call it a key thing, is you don't, as a product manager, if you focus on building products, right, you will not even build a solution. What do I mean? If you focus on building products, you wouldn't even build a solution. You know that a solution is bigger than a product. Just in case you don't know, a solution is bigger than a product. But when you focus too much on building products, you're not going to build a solution. A solution is bigger than the product. And when, as a product manager, the moment you understand that a solution is bigger than the, and let me give you examples. Maybe this will help to put this down. Again, you guys know that, or if you don't know, now you know. I'm a big fan of Money Points and the brilliant job they are doing in the space. And I don't need to tell anybody what is Money Point. I'm sure you guys know Money Points, that blue POS that is popular in Nigeria, where you put your card. I've used my card on Money Point POS twice today already. And I'm sure maybe some of us have used, who has used their card on Money Point POS today? My fellow Money Point customers who have used their card on Money Point POS today. Ose, right? Ruben, right? Rukayat, right? Fumilayo, Victor. So, hey, all of us are Money Point customers, Farouk. So now I want to give a scenario of Money Point that many people don't pay attention to. That POS is a product, but you know, the Money Point solved a solution that is bigger than their product, especially for the vendors and the people who use the POS machine itself. Now, there's something that maybe not a lot of people know, except maybe you're a POS vendor yourself, is Money Point used to help those small business owners to open business name accounts for free for them to use Money Point POS. Now, let me backtrack. You know, for you to have a POS, you must have a business name that is registered with CAC. Right? I don't know if there's anybody here that has a POS. You know that for you to have a POS machine, you must have a business name that is registered with CAC. Now, Money Point's product is the POS machine, but the solution to the problem is bigger than the POS machine. Now, what Money Point did basically is to build the POS, but then they also built a solution to the problem because the problem is bigger than the POS. Now, what was the solution to the problem? Before anybody can use a POS as the owner of the POS, you must have a business name. Your business name must be registered with CAC. So what the Money Point did? Money Point helped, and even till date, still helps people to open business name accounts with CAC for free. Which means all these vendors that use Money Point POS, they are not the one even opening the business name by themselves. Money Point opens the business name for them for free. So when Money Point opens the business name for them for free with CAC, the Money Point now use that business name to then create a account for them with Money Point and then give them the POS. In short, initially Money Point used to even give the POS for free in the early days. Then they moved from giving it free, they moved to you buy now, you pay small as you make money, and obviously they've transitioned into like people just buy outrightly. But it's not even expensive because I remember asking a POS vendor recently, I think it's 25K or so to get a Money Point POS. Now, what am I saying? Money Point solved a solution, not just a product. The solution is instead of building just the product, which is the POS, they also helped people to open business name with CAC for free. Because the truth is that if they did not help those people to open business name with CAC for free, most of those people will never have a Money Point POS. Is this Sule, my Suya guy, or the guys, what's the name of this guy that sells fruits for me that uses Money Point POS? Did they have time to go and be opening CAC business name? No, they don't. That's why I said again, the solution is bigger than the product. The moment you understand that your product is just part of the solution, you're going to be a better product manager. The problem of many product managers is that they focus too much on building the product instead of looking at solving the problem and then creating a holistic solution that includes the product. Because you have to transition from just building products to building solutions. And your product is part of the solution. In the case of Money Point now, the POS is part of the solution. Right? But again, if you're not an experienced product manager, you just think that everything is about the POS. Everything is not about the POS. It's all the things that happen outside of the POS that is even more important than even the POS. Right? From helping those business owners to open business name with CAC, Corporate Affairs Commission, for free, to doing reconciliation even before the money officially drops. Some of us don't know that instant transfer that you're getting on Money Point is not every single one that goes. You can talk to anybody in the finance sector, they know this. It's not every single money that you send that you hear pam pam on Money Point POS means that the money has gone through. Sometimes at the back end is the Money Point team that is doing reconciliation at the back end. They've removed the customers from that stress. That is part of the solution, not the POS in itself alone. Right? Some of those reconciliations are done at the back end without even the customers knowing that those reconciliations are being carried out. Because it's not every transaction that just goes pam, 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 pam. No. Yes, they would have carried out the transaction, but sometimes there might be back-end issues. Maybe the money did not deliver, maybe the money did not drop, maybe the money was sent, but the receiver did not receive. All of those dynamics that comes with financial service. Long story cut short, they built a solution, not just a problem, not just a product. And that's the basics of product management. Build a solution, not just a product. A product is part of the solution. But that's why if you focus on solving problems, right? If you focus on solving problems, right, you will see that you would eventually build a holistic solution that includes the product. So the product will just be part of the solution. Let me give another example, right? I've used Money Point, and I hope you guys understand. If you understand the Money Point example, drop an emoji. So the POS is just a POS. The solution is bigger than the POS as a product. Awesome. Let me use one more example and then we'll move forward. One more example will be something like so I give this example? Might take some time. Okay, let me use the context of I don't want to use an example that will take us too much time. Let me use one more example that I feel like it is closer to home. We are all in Ewenla session right now, right? And Ewenla is a training institute, offers trainings. Now, one of the things that Ewenla has tried to do as a product management training facility or institute is to try to make the solution bigger than the product. Now, what is Ewenla's product? Ewenla's product is training, right? Ewenla's product is training, right? Training is the product. But what we do at Ewenla is bigger than trainings, right? The solution is broader. So we're looking at it beyond the trainings. So what has Ewenla done, for example, that is beyond the trainings? Introducing internship is one perfect example beyond the training. Right. So at Ewenla, if you take product management training at Ewenla, right, you have an open source internship that you get to be part of. Right. Now that open source internship, it is not the responsibility of Ewenla to facilitate it. It is not, because our work is training. Do you know people are paying for internship now? Just so you know. At least I know one, I don't know if I'll call them a startup or a facility, that people are paying to do internship. So which means we can charge money for the internship, but we did not. Right. I'm not saying it's bad to pay money for internship, by the way, but I'm just saying that and by the way, before these people even started to charge money for internship, we have been doing internship for the past 2 years. Oh, look at you paid for an internship, exactly. At Ewenla, we've been doing open source internship for the past 2 years. And how did the idea of the internship come about? It's because we're looking at the solution beyond the product. The product is training, but the solution is bigger than the product. The solution is people don't just want to learn, people want to get practical experience. So how do we help people to get practical experience beyond just the training? Introducing the open source internship. So with the open source internship, People, we were able to put them into tech teams where you have UI UX designers, software developers, other product managers, and then they get to work together in that team. They get to build something which is much more holistic in terms of solution being delivered. Right. So that is just an example of delivering a holistic solution beyond the product. Right. We could have just said it is training, it is training. The product is just training, but the solution is bigger than just training. Right. So, oh, Ruben said the last internship I made the inquiries for is 55K. Maybe Ewenla himself should start charging money for that internship, because it's like I see everybody has started to monetize internship. But when the funny thing is that when we start, Ruben is doing thumbs down. When we started internship at Ewenla, I can tell you emphatically, nobody was doing internship in Nigeria. No training institute was, and nobody was even doing internship as a service, because that's what I'll call it right now. Now that people are already charging money for internship, we can call it internship as a service. But I can tell you emphatically, I've been in this space for a while, but even in the context of Ewenla, right, when we started doing internship in 2022 to 2020, I can remember the first cohort that did internship at Ewenla, cohort 7, I'll be cohort 8. Ewenla, we're in cohort 38 now. But we started internship from cohort 8, and we're in cohort 38. So that's like 30 cohorts have gone through internship. And I remember those cohort 8 students. It was Rosemary, Tomilayo, Yetunde. I cannot even forget those guys. Rosemary, Tomilayo, Yetunde. I still saw one of their guys recently at a hotel. There are about 7 of them in that class. All of them are out doing well in their individual spaces now. But it was their cohorts that we started internship with. Right. And it was just looking at the solution beyond the product. So if there's anything at all you also want to do next year, please don't just focus on building products. Focus on building solutions that encapsulate your product, which means your product will be part of the solution instead of your product as an independent entity. Right. Your product should be part of the solution. So you look at the solution at a broader perspective, which means there'll be other things that will solve the problem for the customers that may not even be part of your product. There'll be other things that will solve problems for the customers that won't even be part of your product. But again, if you're not paying attention to solving problems, then you won't be able to identify those things. Because not everything will be about your product. Not everything. Just going back to the money point example. So, their product is POS, but they were helping people to open accounts for free with CAC. That's solution beyond their product. Their product is POS, but they are doing reconciliation at the back end for some customer transaction that they have no date, that the customer, the money has been paid or the bill has been settled, but the reconciliation has been done at the back end. Right. So maybe one simple example that just dropped in my mind is, even what's their name? Lemfi. Does anybody know Lemonade Finance? Lemfi. A lot of Nigerians used to send money from the UK to Nigeria, from the US to Nigeria, Canada to Nigeria. And it's a quite good product. At least I know, even in the context of, aside from even my personal use, even in the context of Ewenla, I know a lot of people, a lot of Nigerians in diaspora who are based in the UK and the US that have taken training at Ewenla. Many of them pay with Lemfi, right? And I know when they pay with Lemfi, Ewenla literally receives the money almost instantly. Oh, Ruben says most of my clients pays with it. Exactly. Right. And it feels like you are doing a normal banking transaction, but you don't know the work and the reconciliation Lemfi is in at the back end on the customer's behalf. A lot of customers don't know that there's a lot of work that is being done. You just think it's technology. It's not just technology, Kokon. It is not just technology, Kokon. Right. If you listen to Abodeji, Aboyeji, co-founder of Flutterwave, Move, Andela, he always says it a lot that a lot of Nigerians in the tech space, they are too focused on technology instead of solving problems. Right. So you have to focus on technology instead of solving problems. So please, as you're going into next year, if you want to really be successful in this product management space, focus on solving problems, focus on building solutions. Don't build products, build solutions. Solutions are bigger than products. The moment you understand this statement, solutions are bigger. Your product should be part of a solution. Your product is not the solution. If you understand this, it saves you a lot of stress. It helps you to do better as a PM. Your product should be part of the solution. Your product is not the solution. Your product should be parts, meaning there are other things that makes up the solution to the problem for the customers. Your product is just part of those things. Let's move on. Number two thing you should do next year to be successful in product management is put more energy on strategy. Right? I wrote 2024 here. Put more energy on strategy. Right? Put more energy on strategy. As a product manager, if you are not strategic in today's world, I don't know how you want your business to do it. And I've already said something earlier. I said the primary responsibility of product managers is to solve problems. The secondary responsibility of product managers is to make money for their company. If you understand those two things, if you like, don't see, I can beat my chest and say this. If you like, don't be very good with Agile. Don't be good with Scrum. If you help your company to make money and you're not good with Agile, you're not good with roadmap, they will still retain you. Because at the end of the day, what is every company looking for? Now, money is money. Right? People just, I don't just want to repeat myself, but I'm saying it again. People overhype product management processes. Make money for the company and see if they're not going to retain you. If you like, don't be good with all of those. I'm not saying you should be bad with those things, obviously, but I'm just saying that those things are not as important as people make them to be. At the end of the day, this is in business to make money. Make a business money and see if they will not keep you in the company. Do something strategic that helps a company to make $100 million or $100 million. Even if they know that this person is not very good with product roadmap, he used to do nonsense roadmap, but he the one that helped us to make $100 million. You see if they are not going to, you see if they will sack you. If they sack you, then they are the one that lose. Right? So next year, be more strategic. Focus on things that will help your company to make money. There's no point mincing words around that statement. If you don't help your company to make more money, you're on your own. Next year, you are on your own. If all you're just doing is product managing, working with developers, if all you're working with developers is not translating to money, you are on your own, because you won't be. I've seen situations where somebody is so good with doing product management process, and I'm being honest here. Somebody is so good with doing product management process, right? And then another product manager is so good in helping the company to get partnership that then help the company to make money. Guess who is promoted? The guy that gets partnership that helps the company to make more money. Meanwhile, the other guy that is good with product management process was just here in the same level. The person that was getting partnership to help the company to make more money, the other product manager that was focusing on partnerships that then they partner with corporate partners that then help them to make more money, right, was promoted. And meanwhile, both of them were at the same level in the same company, right? A fintech company. So I don't want to mention the name. One product manager in the fintech company, very good with product management process. The guy understands road mapping, prioritization. He can work with all the developers. He can get job done. He can, products are built. He delivers his product. But guess what? The other guy, as the other product manager in that company, knows how to get strategic partners, knows how to get banks, knows how to get other fintech, connect other fintech API to their own API, banks and all of that. Guess who got promoted? The guy that brought business to the company. The one that is very good with product management process did not get promotion. Now, am I saying it is bad or it is good? No. The message I'm just trying to communicate is one made more money for the company, one helped the company to build products, who got promoted faster, who made more money. The other guy that brought more money to the company started to earn more because he got promoted to a senior product manager role. The one that was good with the product management process was just a product manager. And they entered the company around the same time. They were earning around the same salary. But it was about 2-3 years down the line, one got promoted to a senior PM role, was earning a bigger salary. His colleague that they came in almost at the same time was still in the same role. Differences: one brought money into the company, the other one was just doing product management process. Now, what you should take from all of this is, can you find a way to be good with the two? Be good with your product management processes and also focus on making money for your company. Moreover, I always tell people, moreover, if you want to earn more money, make more money for your company now. If you are looking for, I think I told you guys in that 2 Saturday sessions ago, I said, if you're looking to make more money if you're looking to make more money as a product manager, then help your company to make more money. If they don't pay you a bigger salary, you leave the company, you go somewhere else, help the other company to make more money until you find the ones that pay you a bigger salary. But funny thing is that if you help your company to make more money, your mouth self go wide. You will not be shy to ask for a raise. You will not be shy to ask for a bigger salary because you know you contributed significantly to helping the company to make more money. You have to contribute so much that they cannot even neglect you in promotions or salary increase. Right? So next year, put more energy on strategy. You have to be more strategic going forward. Right? Not just building. See, I wrote here, knowing how to get product built is not going to be enough. Right? Competition is better and tougher these days compared to 5 years ago. It's not the person that has the best products that win in a market. It is the person that is most strategic that win. And this applies to your career as well. There are so many good products in the market, but guess who wins in the market when it comes to business? It's the most strategic companies that wins. So it's not about building good products alone. It's about being solid when it comes to business strategy. So as you're going into next year, for you to have a successful PM career, don't just build good products. Also work on strategy that helps the company to make more money. And I don't want to even mince words at all. If you don't make more money for the company, I think I've given that example, so don't let me overflog it. Just like the example I gave, one guy makes money for the company, one guy is good with the product management process. Who gets promoted first? The guy that makes more money. Who got increase in salary first? The guy that made more money for the company. So next year, you want to be successful in your role as a PM, put more energy on product strategy. See, in the product world, it is not the product manager that knows all the technical jargon, tools, framework, processes that will shine. Please take note of this. In the product world, it is not the product manager that knows all the technical jargon, tools, framework, processes that will shine. That's something I've seen. It is the product manager that works with a team to build a valuable product and ensures that the product is used by the users and customers consistently that will shine. And I should add, that will make money for the company. Let me just put it there as well. Right. But it was where I was going to when I was writing this down. Right. It is the product manager that works with a team to build a valuable product and ensures that the product is used by the customers and users. Right. To value products, ensure and generate revenue. Right. So it's a holistic thing, right? So it's not just a thing of, and the reason why I put Messi picture here? I'm sure the football lovers in the house will be wondering, why did I put Messi's picture here? Who remembers the World Cup final in 2022? I'm sure at least some of the men in the house. World Cup final, Argentina and France. Who remembers that match? Right. I'm sure some ladies even watched the match because that match in Qatar was a big one. Right. You know that match, France, it just small. that remain for France to win that World Cup. Just small, right? But I remember that match that it was just one goal that changed the entire trajectory of the game. In short, if towards the last dying minute of the match, this guy is still lost now that Martinez caught one final ball, 1-on-1, right? And you know, the way football works is you can play so well and still lose the match. And if I've understood this, I call it a principle for me. You can play so well and still lose a match, right? So it's not who plays so well that matters, it's who scored the goals in a match that matter. A team can be the best in the football match in terms of how they play, but if they do not score goal and win the match, then they did not win. I'm sure, again, football lovers, we played Manchester. I'm a Man U fan. We played Tottenham the other day, right? We played Tottenham the other day, and the second half of that match, even though Tottenham won that match, I can tell you emphatically that Man U played Tottenham to their bone, right? Serious playing. We played those guys. Those guys didn't see any match to play. There was a period in the match where 9 minutes they did not touch ball. Ball was just in Manchester United players for 9 minutes. Imagine a whole 9 minutes. Tottenham players did not see ball to play. Last we still chop them. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Last they still beat us. What mattered was not that we played them. What mattered was that they scored those goals at the end of the day. Right? So people tend to forget that it's not how you play the game that matter. It's the number of goals that you score that matters. So as a product manager, if you like, be good with technical jargon, be good with framework, be good with process. All of that is not going to matter. What am I saying? Let me say it in English. All of that is not going to matter if it does not bring money to the table. If you like, know all the process in the world, know all the technical jargon, all the tools, Jira, Trello, Figma, product plan, AI tools. No matter how much you know all those things, if it does not bring money to the table, it's like playing a football match, playing so well, but not scoring goals. That's how Messi won the World Cup, but that's how Argentina won the World Cup. They scored the goals. France played quite well in that match. Argentina cannot come and say, yeah, Argentina also played well in the match, but I watched the match and I can remember very well that France gave them a run for their money, right? But at the end of the day, who scored the winning goal? Argentina. Who won the match? Argentina. Even though France played their hearts out, Argentina still won because they scored the goal. So it does not matter how well you play the match. What matters is that you scored the goal. Even if it's wururu to the answer. Right? Even if it's wururu to the answer. For example, now, even though Man City match last week Sunday, Man U played Man City hands down in that match. Hands down. We played Man City hands down. But if Ahmad did not score that last goal, we are on our own. That match would have ended in a draw. Right? If Ahmad did not score that last goal, the match would have ended in a draw. And he scored that last goal in the 90th minute. Man U scored their first goal in 88 minutes, scored the second goal in 90 minutes, and they won the match. Now, let's even assume that Man City played so well from beginning of the match to 88 minutes. The fact that Man U scored the goal in 88 minutes and 90 minutes is all that matters at the end of the day. What will people say? Man U beats Man City. No matter how you say, but Man City played well. Just like where I said now, Man U played better than Tottenham, but Tottenham won the match because Tottenham scored the goal. But anyways, I'm sure you guys get my point. My point is, in all this product management process, tools, framework, focus on the end result. The end result is to make money for the company. If you make money for the company, all those tools, that's when it even show that you are good. But if you are not making money for the company and you are good with all these product management tools and framework and technical jargon and process, but it's not bringing money to the company, you know, go show say you're good. Right? So, focus on anything that brings money to your organization. Number 3, pay more attention to underserved needs and underserved problems. right? Pay more attention to underserved needs and underserved problems, right? Pay more attention to underserved needs. What does this mean? For you to be strategic, you have to focus on needs that are underserved people and underserved markets. So what this simply means is, as a product manager, you want to be finding markets that are not competitive, problems that are not popularly being solved. So if you look at it, it says, don't build products for a market that already has established competitors. You can never win that market, even if your product is the cheapest and the better product in the market. I always tell people that, imagine somebody trying to build another Facebook in today's world. There's nothing that you want to do. You cannot build. There's nothing that you want to do. You cannot build a cheaper and a better Facebook. Right? There's nothing that you want to do. You cannot build a cheaper or a better Facebook, because Facebook is an established competitor, over 2 billion users. You might not be using Facebook every day, but the truth is that you cannot ride Facebook. You cannot ride Instagram. You cannot ride Twitter. There are so many established competitors in the social media space. There's nothing, if you like, imagine that you want to change the world. You want to build one AI social media product. It could work. It cannot work. It's not going to do well. Is a business that is going to fail. I know I'm sounding too assuring, but it's just from experience. If you build products in industries that are too competitive, nothing will come out much out of it. So please don't just be a product manager who is just building product for building product's sake. Focus on needs that are not popularly being solved. Focus on target audience that people are not paying attention to. Focus on markets that people are not paying attention to, meaning your competitors. Don't go into next year and continue to build products in competitive landscape. And even if you are building products in competitive landscape, then that's why you said underserved needs. Meaning, even if you are in a competitive landscape, say, for example, now your company is a fintech product, you're in a fintech company. We all know fintech is competitive, from the banks to the fintechs, but don't now be doing the same thing that every other fintech is doing, payments or savings and investments. Like, what are you doing differently? What is the underserved needs in the market that people need that nobody else is paying attention to? If you are doing the same payment like Paystack and Flutterwave and Seller, then why should anybody use your product? I don't understand. When there's Paystack that is more established and there's Flutterwave that is more established and there's Seller that is more established, why should I come and use your product? Right? If you're trying to build a savings product, why should I come and use your savings product? When PiggyVest has been here for 8 years, PiggyVest has processed almost 2 trillion naira in payments back to people. Why should I come and use your own savings products? Then there's Cowrywise there too. Why would I come and use your own? And then there are some other ones too that are even there as well. So, trying to build products, don't build products in industries where you have established players. If you like, that's why you see it says you can never win markets even if your product is the cheapest and the better product, if they are established players in the same space. Especially if your company is smaller. It's only if your company is bigger, maybe you can win, because obviously you can leverage your company's brand. You can leverage, if your company is a bigger company, you can leverage the brand, you can leverage the company's resources. The company can put in more money into marketing. The company can win via marketing. Because if a small startup, if you have plenty small companies doing same thing, but then one big company comes into that space and the big company has resources, especially money. They can they can buy influencers, they can buy marketing, and they can literally, close everybody's mouth with money, right? But if your company is a smaller company, then you want to pay attention to underserved needs. Don't go into next year and be doing what every other person has done. Could make sense. It doesn't even make it to stand out. It doesn't make it to be unique, right? So find underserved needs, underserved problems to solve. Find underserved people, underserved target audience. Find underserved markets. Underserved means those people are not currently being served. That's how you become a successful PM, right? Focus on the things that are not being done, right? Even Money Points. What made Money Point to be successful? What made OP to be successful is underserved needs, right? the problems that is solved is underserved, right? So you don't want to build, you don't want to build products where you are doing exactly what everybody has done. It's not going to work, right? Nothing, no big success is going to come out of that. So let's move on. Number 4, product managers have your own side project or side business. I think I flogged this on 2 weeks ago. I highly recommend every product manager to have a side project or side business. One, why? You might be wondering why. I discussed this 2 weeks ago, but let me just simplify the why. One, it helps you to apply your product management skills beyond your job. 2, it helps you to have another source of income. I'm not sure I should be telling everybody why you should have 2-3 sources of income in today's world, right? Too much money is not bad as far as they are not affecting themselves, right? Too much money is not bad as far as the work is not affecting themselves too much, right? So I always recommend having side projects or side business. Now, the only thing for me is you want to try to ensure that they are not affecting, because if it's affecting themselves, one is going to pay for the other. But if you can find a sweet balance where you have a full-time product management job, you have one small business by the side that you are product managing the small business, it's a win-win. And you can balance it where the business is not affected, your job is not affected. Because I think that's where the challenge will be for a lot of people, not being able to balance putting their energy on the business or putting their energy on the job. But if you can find that sweet balance, and it might take time, but if you can find that sweet balance where you have a full-time product management job, they're paying you well, you are doing your job there well, and you have one small side business, selling shoes, selling bags, selling wigs, selling whatever, selling air, or whatever it is that you want to sell, whatever problem you want to solve, and then you are now applying your product management skills in running that business as a small business, right? It's a win-win. One, you apply your product management skills. 2, you make more money, right? And I highly, I know it's a very dicey conversation. Some people might say, oh, focus on your job, focus on your employer. And I get that. I just feel like all of us still have spare time. You cannot be too busy. We all have spare time. You can dedicate your spare time to running a small business. It might just be only you running the business, right? And you're attending to customers maybe after your 9 to 5, maybe from 7 to 10 or something, right? Depending on whatever your business is or your side business is. But again, I'm not saying here, look at it here, I say this is not about being an entrepreneur per se or startup founder, even though that's what it might sound like. For me, I see it as more about expanding your skills into things beyond your job. That's what I see it more as. It helps you to build capacity. That's where I see it. So it's not for me, yeah, even though it's obviously like you being an entrepreneur, if you're doing something in the tech space, it's obviously like you being a startup founder. I know a lot of people started startups while they were still working. Even Flutterwave was started when Benga was still at Access Bank, right? So, which other one again? Some of these guys started some of these startups while they were still working in a corporate setting. So, in a nutshell, my focus is not even being a startup founder or being an entrepreneur or being a business person. My focus is that you are expanding your product skills beyond your job, which I discussed at length 2 Saturdays ago, how to maximize your skills beyond getting the job, right? If you don't have a job right now, then your side business and product or project will come in handy, right? So if you're a product manager here, maybe you're a new product manager and you don't have a product manager job officially, you should not be sad. I see no reason why people will be complaining they don't have job. I'm like, well, you have product management skills. What else do you need? Right? What else do you need again? You can start from day while you're still hustling for the job to come. Look at the business around you and product manage the business. Again, if you focus on the basics, solving problems, making money, that's the basics. Solve problem and make money. All your technical jargon, put them in one corner. Find one small business where you can solve a problem for the target customers and you can make money. That's all. Right. When you get into the tech company, you can remember your technical jargons again, all your APIs and all your servers and all your technical lingua, right? But Right now, if you don't have a product manager job, that's where I think you should start from. Right? Focus on solving problems with a business and then use that business to make money. Anybody can do that. Again, like I said, for me, I know it's entrepreneurship in its very basic essence, but I'm not even looking at it as an entrepreneur. I'm looking at it more as expanding your skills beyond your job. Next year, please do more of that. Expand your skills. I know I keep saying this thing, and maybe some of you might not get it, but I think I told the people that attended last week's session. I said that Friday before that Saturday, right? I know I told one of the things I recommended is that product managers can do business consulting. That Friday before that Saturday that I did that session on mindset, I told them on the session, for those that attended that mindset session, I said that Friday I made 200K from a 1 hour 30-minute session consultation I did for a business owner. Right, I just did a consultation for a business owner that sells fashion items. And me, I was just doing product management conversation with the person. It was just product management conversation. But me, but we tagged the business consulting. Guess what? I sat down with the person for 1 hour 30 minutes, physically, 1 hour 30 minutes. 200K came out of it. Right? It might not come every day, but that 200K at least, I'll buy fuel. I'll buy fuel inside my car for 1 month. Now that fuel is expensive, right? At least you shall buy fuel inside car. That saved me fuel money for 1 month. At least now that fuel is 1K plus now. If I buy 50-liter fuel 1 week, that's like 50K. Another 50-liter fuel second week 2, 50-liter fuel week 3, 50-liter fuel week 4. At least that has saved me money. If I'm seeing just one of that every month, it means I will not be spending money on fuel again from my salary, from my other income, right? So expand your skills beyond your job. Long story short, do more of that next year. You know, the beautiful thing about it is it will help you to be even a much more better product manager, because you'll be taking up more challenges, you'll be doing much more than you would have normally do because you are taking up more challenge. Number 5, getting your product built is not the most important thing. Getting your product consistently used is the most important thing. And I'm sure anybody who has gone through Innova training, I'm sure these statements, because we try our best in Innova training to communicate this to you guys. What is the holy grail of product management? Oh yeah, don't let me. What is the holy grail? Anybody who has gone through Innova training, can you tell us what's the holy grail of product management? It's just 2 words.
They're always so true to their DNA of being an attacking, running side. For the Gen X trial, obviously, when they fatigue Leinster over the preceding the minutes before that, until they cracked, until they got narrow, and now when they're chasing.
Yeah, product usage, exactly. That's the holy grail of product management. Product usage. Thank you. And say our Innova Lab people in the house. And it's one thing we try to reiterate. It's not market fit, it's product usage. Something we try to reiterate during the course of the training, right? Getting your product built is not the most important thing. But again, too many people focus on building product. And I think I said it in my first point. It's not about building product, it's about getting your product used, because you can spend 2 years building the product. If nobody uses it, then all your 2 years that you spend building the product is a waste. It doesn't really matter. Right? It doesn't really matter. So at the end of the day, prioritize product usage more than even building the product. You can build a product that is marginally good, but if people use that product very well, right, it's better than a product that is very good, but people don't use it very well. Let me say that again. You can build a product that is marginally good, meaning the product is just okay. The product can be way better, but it is just okay. But you put your energy on making sure that that okay product is significantly being used by the customers, right? Meaning you're going to be more strategic in terms of product usage and all of that, right? That product that is significantly being used, even though it is a marginally okay product, is better than a product that is very good, but people hardly uses it. It's far better than a product that is very good. The product is AI integrated, has all the technical, something AI powered. Kinikon, all those big English that all of us in tech like to speak. You see, if nobody uses your AI powered artificial intelligence kinikon product, could matter. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it means you have just built that AI kinikon product for yourself. Because it doesn't matter what you've built, what matters is what people use. Right? And that's why I put here, which is better, to build a fine, innovative product that very few people use, or to build a simple, not so attractive product that thousands of people use. It's a no-brainer. You go, it's what people use that is better than what people don't use. Right. So next year, just in case you don't know, prioritize product usage over any other thing, even over building the product. Like I said, your product can be marginally okay, but if you optimize for product usage, it's better than a product that is super good, super innovative, but is not optimized for product usage. And let me say something. There are a lot of innovative products out there that are not optimized for product usage. Just so you know. So just because you've built a innovative product, a product that is like the next best thing to slice bread, doesn't necessarily mean the product is going to be used by the customers. I'm sure you guys probably even know some of these things. There are a lot of products out there that when you look at the idea of the product, it sounds good, but the product is not used. The product just sounds good. It's we in the tech space that appreciate, this idea is really good. Right. Let me share one story, and I'll share a YouTube link with you guys. I watched this video on Y Combinator 3 days ago. Right. Google Photos, the CEO, the former CEO of Google Photos, and the guy who built Google Photos, right? It was interviewed at Y Combinator 2 days ago. It's on Y Combinator YouTube channel. I think I shared Y Combinator's YouTube channel to some of the guys that joined the last session, or the session on goal setting, right? I think I even sent Y Combinator YouTube channel link to the community group. I think I sent it to the community group as well. That Y Combinator YouTube channel. I watched on Y Combinator maybe on Tuesday or Monday, thereabout. Today is Saturday, right? Yeah. Tuesday or Monday or Wednesday, thereabout. Because they just uploaded that video. The former CEO of Google Photos, because Google bought that company. It was not Google Photos. It was when Google bought the startup, then they now named it Google Photos, and then they integrated it into the entire Google's ecosystem. He said when the first version of what they built was called Bump. I don't want to go into the full story. I will send you guys the YouTube link so you guys can watch the video on your own. It's a very insightful 20, I think it was about 20, 30 minutes podcast or so. Very insightful podcast. But I'll just pick up the key thing I want to say in line with my conversation here. The guy said something, the first version of what they built before Google bought them, right? The first version of what they built, right? He said one thing they identified was that their product was even popular. They were like the second most downloaded app on Apple Store. But guess what? People are not using their products in terms of frequency of usage. And again, you guys that are in Innova Lab training, there's something I used to talk about. Frequency and intensity. Who can fill in the gap? I always say something. Somebody should fill in the gap for me. So I'm sure that we are doing our job well. Frequency and intensity. What's the two words that back it up? Somebody should help me. Yeah, no, there's a way I used to say it that is very simple and catchy. I've given you hints, frequency and intensity. Imran,
High frequency,
can you say that again?
high intensity, high frequency.
Thank you. Okay, I can see yes. High frequency, high intensity. Exactly. Meaning you build something that people are going to use frequently and intensely. Anything people don't use frequently and intensely, right? If it's low frequency and low intensity, which look I had to just put here, if you build something that, which is what happened to the first version of what those guys built before Google bought them and converted them to Google Photos. I will send you guys a video. He said that their product was popular. They were the second most downloaded app on Apple Store, I think maybe in 2010 or 2011. That's how popular they were. They were the second most downloaded app on Apple Store. To the point where even Steve Jobs put their app in his presentation when Steve Jobs was still alive. That's how popular they were. But guess what? He said something, and you'll see it in the video. He said they did not have significant product usage despite popularity. So maybe I should give you guys a cheat code. There are some products that people are celebrating in terms of popularity, but now the people who are inside the company know whether they use the product or not. Some of these products that many of us are seeing on the outside, they are so popular. This name, I don't want to mention any name. This company, you know them, their name is so loud. But now the staff waiting inside, go give you all the gist. Because that guy said, that former CEO of Google Photos, he said it was people outside the company, investors were even giving them money. But they inside the company know that they did not have product usage. Their product was low frequency and low value. That's where he puts it. Low frequency, meaning people didn't have a reason to use the product again and again and again and again and again. People just use the product once or maybe twice or maybe 3 times and they go. Right? And for you to build something that people will use again and again, you have to focus on high frequency, high intensity, meaning you solve a problem, right? Or you build a solution that people are going to interact with frequently. And when we say frequently now, frequently means either daily, weekly, or monthly. Anything beyond that is not going to work. And the truth is that the best frequency is daily or weekly frequency. In terms of the best kind of frequency you can ever have. Anything that people can use every day or at least multiple times a week. Right? If it's not every day or multiple times a week, then even on a monthly basis, is monthly. Monthly basis is not really strong, but we still count monthly as well. So meaning if you are building any solution next year, build solutions that people are going to use frequently and intensely. Intensely means something that the impact of the solution is big on the user. The impact of the solution is not small. The impact of the solution is big on the user. Right. So focus more on product usage, high frequency, high intensity. Anything people would not use frequently and intensely, you're just building something that your product can even be popular, which is what that guy said. Second most downloaded app on Apple Store, but they inside the company know that people are not using their product steady. And meanwhile, investors were still giving them money because of their popularity. So that's why, again, as a product manager, don't get hyped too much in terms of popularity. Some of these popular companies and popular startups that you are seeing out there, now the staff inside go give you all their gist. Popularity doesn't translate to product usage. Don't forget that popularity of a product doesn't translate to the product is regularly being used by the customers. So focus more on consistent product usage than even building a product. Number 6, how do you approach interviews? If you're someone who's going to be doing interviews for product manager role next year, how do you approach interviews for you to be successful? Understand what the company is looking for, prepare for it, and then table your strengths confidently and how it can be beneficial to them. Going through interviews is not easy, right? In terms of how easy it is, but I would say it is simple. It's just that most people, the challenge I see for most people when it comes to interviews generally is that they are afraid. That's the challenge. It's not because product management interviews are hard. Product management interview is simple. It's not hard. The challenge is that most people are scared or they are afraid. And it's not bad to be afraid. I think I said that on Saturday last week. It's normal to be scared, but still go and do it. Do it scared or do it afraid. It's normal, right? Product management, even product management as a career, is not a hard career. It's a simple career path. Product management is not hard. It's simple, right? If you just understand some of the key principles, you will do well in product management. So the interviews are also not hard, right? My recommendation is when you're going for any product management interview, understand what the company is looking for. Look at their JD. Look at what the company is about. look at their products, do a tear down on their product, understand their product, understand their vision, understand their mission, right? Understand the company. Go and check the CEO out on LinkedIn. Know what the person is interested in. Do go and stalk the person if you have to. Prepare. When you understand the company, it's like you understanding your customer. Then when you go into the interview, table your strengths. Everybody has weakness. I'm not sure any sensible interviewer is going to be expecting a perfect candidate. There is no perfect candidate anyway. At the end of the day, every company is doing cost benefit analysis of each candidate, because there's no perfect candidate anyway. The reason why they don't choose you is because maybe the other candidate that they chose, the other candidate too is not perfect, but maybe the other candidate is going to provide more benefits in relation to what they want to them than you will provide to them. Let me give one example. For example, one of our alumni at Ewenla, she was supposed to get into, and she did a product manager interview with eTransact, right? Interestingly, we have another alumni that is currently working at eTransact as a product manager. So this other person wanted to go into eTransact as well, right? And she was close to getting the job. The way the team lead even liked her, to the point where the team lead invited her for a meeting at ShopRite physically, just for him to meet her, because all the interview was happening online, right? And don't worry, it's not side meeting. The lady is married and all of that. She has a daughter, so it's not that kind of meeting. Just in case you are thinking that direction, it's not that kind of meeting. He just wanted to meet the person that impressed her or impressed him during the course of the interview. So that was the reason why, because people can start to think something else. The lady is married, she has a daughter, I think a 2-year-old daughter or 1 year plus daughter. So don't think nonsense, right? But yeah, because I was with her all through that entire process. Long story cut short, despite meeting with her, right, they did not give her the job. Imagine all that stress. Went through 3-4 stages of interview, still went to meet the team lead physically, with high expectation. They wanted to meet the person. So who is this person that really impressed? And she said she felt like she impressed them, and they were so excited about her potential, what she can bring into the company, into eTransact. All that story. Guess who they eventually went for? Because this lady did not have enough fintech experience, they went for someone that had more fintech experience. The person they eventually chose had worked at OPay, had worked at PalmPay, and had worked at one bank. So they gave the person the job over her, despite the stress that they put her through. And I told her, I said, it's a no-brainer. They went for the person who most likely suit. And eTransact is a fintech, but she didn't have enough fintech experience. Right, so they went for another product manager who had worked at OPay, who had worked at PalmPay, and had worked at one of the banks, which is a no-brainer. You cannot blame them. You cannot blame them, because the other person had more fintech experience. She didn't have enough fintech experience, despite the fact that she impressed in the interview. They still went for the person. So every company, it doesn't mean the lady that they went for, because I think you said it was a lady, because you had the 2 top candidates. The lady that they went for, according to her, right, wasn't necessarily like, the lady was like very better than her, like one obvious, this one is a sure banker better. No, at the end of the day, the team lead told her that they just had to weigh their cost benefit analysis and say, this lady has more financial service product management experience. Let's just go for her. Even though Tayo is a very smart lady, she has done this, she has done that. But that lack of fintech experience might be a challenge. You get, and guess what? That job was going to be a 950K job, 950K in salary, because they even negotiated salary for they now bounced her. They've negotiated salary to 950K gross. Right. So imagine you have negotiated salary of 950K. Your hopes are high. Only for them to go and serve you breakfast. But it's part of life, and it's part of interviews. Right. So long story cut short, what am I saying is understand the companies, prepare for their interview, table your strengths, and then focus on how you can be beneficial to them. So that play your strengths, understand their strengths, understand what they're looking for, and try to play your cards in line with their strengths and in line with what they're looking for. Right? I think that's how anybody can scale any interview. It's not even about knowing all the product management terminologies. I'm coming back to that point again. Because too many times people think it's about knowing all the frameworks and knowing all the frameworks and knowing all the terms in the world. It's not really about that. When you understand what the company wants, understand what the company is looking for, prepare for that, then focus on your strengths. Make sure your strengths align with the company's strengths. If your strengths does not align with the company's strengths, I don't think you should apply, in my opinion. Right? Because it just be like the situation of Tayo, that our strength did not really align with the company's strength. So Tayo had more sales background. She used to be a salesperson before becoming a product manager. So obviously, maybe because her sales skill set, she sold herself to the team, right? Literally sold herself to the team and sold her capacity to the team. But guess what? Even her sales skill sets did not play for her because they chose someone who had more fintech financial service experience over her. So long story cut short, apply for jobs that your strengths suit what they're looking for. For instance, that you might not even have all the experience in the world, but if your strength suits what they're looking for, they can weigh their cost-benefit analysis and say, this it's just like saying, for example, now, if a company is looking for, imagine a healthcare company. If a healthcare company is looking for a product manager, let me throw it to you guys. If a healthcare company is looking for a product manager to build healthcare products, who would they choose? A product manager who used to be a doctor and a product manager who knows nothing about medicine? What are they going to choose? I'm sure the answer is very obvious. They will most likely go for the doctor who used to be a medical. They will most likely go for the product manager who used to be a doctor before, over the product manager who know nothing about healthcare and medicine. Maybe the other doctor studied engineering, or the other product manager studied engineering. It's a no-brainer. If a healthcare company is trying to build healthcare products, they will go for the person who has healthcare experience. That's why I always tell people, go to industries where you have leverage. Right? Any industry you have leverage, go to that kind of industry. Work in the industry where you know that you understand the industry. You can leverage your industry experience, even if you don't have enough product management experience. Leverage your industry. That's why I would tell people, for example, I've said this multiple times in this community, that if you have banking experience, it's easy for you to get into all this fintech, just like the scenario of Tayo. You've worked in 2, 3, 4 banks. Omo, you can go into any fintech interview, all these Money Point, OPay, PalmPay, Kuda interview, and you will boss them. Because they will be looking at, this guy worked at First Bank, worked at Zenith, worked at, even if you do not do product management in the bank. That's the funniest thing. You don't even need to do product management in the bank before they hire you. Why? Because they are building financial service products. They need someone that understands how the financial service industry works. They would not pick, which is why they did not pick Tayo. Tayo does not have deep knowledge in the financial industry, right? She had never even really worked in any financial industry officially. She only did a project around it. Obviously, they would choose the other person that had that fintech experience. So if you are a newbie in product management, right? Yeah, that's domain knowledge. Exactly. Focus on your strengths. Focus on your strengths. What you're really good at, right? You can do so well as a product manager by just knowing how to do the basics very well. If you are good with your basics of product management, solving problems, creating solutions, making money, every other thing is going to be easy if you do your basics well. Finally, learn and do. Don't just learn. Right? I know we're in the age of learning. Everybody's trying to learn. And it's good. But please, learn and do. In short, I always say, make sure you are doing more than you are learning. Meaning, you are implementing what you learn more than even you learning. It's better for you to spend 3 months executing than for you to spend 3 months learning. I know it sounds somehow, but it's better. I would prefer to spend 3 months executing something than to spend 3 months learning something. I think I told you guys, I said it in that mindset session that I learned a skill set, and me, I just went to execute with a very solid mindset. And 1 month into my whole execution, I made money, and I've also lost money. But guess what? What is more important is I have shall executed. That's the most important thing, is execution, right? So it's better for me to be executing and be learning from my execution than for me just to be learning. So please don't go into next year and be taking all manners of courses. I'm not saying it's bad, but focus on building products instead, creating solutions instead, solving problems instead, right? And this will take us back to my first conversation 2 weeks ago. Maximize your product management knowledge beyond just getting a job. When you look at it from that perspective, it means you focus on doing more than learning. So before you take another course next year on product management, go and practice the one you've even learned. Even if you don't have a job, go and practice with somebody's business. If you don't have a job, you don't have a business of your own, go and use somebody's business as your guinea pig, your practice thing, and go and practice. Next year, focus much more on practicing than even learning, in my opinion. But if you can find a balance between learning and practicing, then that will be great. Right? You don't want to be a knowledge junkie. That's what some people are. If you ask some people definitions now, they can answer all the definition. Ask them to put into practical practice. Le baton, they are busted. Right? But if you ask them all the definition in product management, they'll tell you every single thing word for word. But yeah, now come and put it into real life usage. They are busted. So into next year, for you to be a successful product manager, focus on doing. Do. You learn roadmap, go and practice it. You learn Jira, go and practice. You learn Figma, go and practice. You learn analytics, go and practice it. Focus on practicing. Don't just sit down and be taking course. You take course on Udemy, take course on Product School, take course on Innovalab, take course in Product Dive, take course on Utiva. You're just doing knowledge junkie everywhere. No practice. Don't do that to yourself next year. Right? Be better. Go and practice. Learn one, sit down and practice for like 6 months to a year. Learn another one, sit down and practice for like, don't be jumping from one place to another. Try to find ways to practice what you've learned ASAP. And like I've said, you don't have to get a product manager job before you can do practicing. It's one thing I've been advocating inside of Innovalab training. I used to see it from day one. You can apply product management skills in business. So even if you don't have a tech job to start with, go and apply it in a business. Solve problems for a business, build solutions for a business, deliver great experience for a business. That's all we are doing in product management at the end of the day. So that brings us to the end of everything, right? For you to become a successful product manager in 2025, I'll just recap the 7 things that I talked about. Number 1, go back to the basics of product management. Focus on solving problems. Number 2, put energy on strategy. At the end of the day, every business is in business to make money. Like I've been saying, you can know all the terminologies in the word. Like we say in Yoruba, "Tikoba mowo wale," could make sense, meaning if it does not bring money to the house, it's not going to be worth it. So focus on energy on strategy. So if you can be in that balance of knowing all those terminologies and being good with strategy, you do well in product management. You will grow, you'll make more money because you'll be helping the company to make more money. And it's a no-brainer. I think I shared the example of those 2 guys in the same fintech, and one was bringing partnership that made money for the company. The other one was very good at working with devs and working with designer. Who got promoted first? The guy that was making money for the company. Right. Number 3 is pay attention to underserved needs, underserved people, underserved markets. Right. Don't just be building products for building sake. Focus on things that nobody else is focusing on. Solve problems that a lot of people are not solving, your competitors are not solving. Go to markets that your competitors are not going to. Don't just be doing follow. Paystack has done it, but you can't do it. Flutter has done it, but you can't do it. No, you should find something. There's so much underserved needs out there. Too many people don't want to do the hard work because solving underserved needs is hard work, serious hard work. Right. Then number 4, have your own side project, have a side business, apply your product management skills. Number 5, focus on product usage. Getting product built is not the most important thing, because you can build a good product, but if nobody uses it, even you feel bad, right? If nobody uses what you've built, you will feel bad now. Is there anybody that is always happy when they build something and nobody uses? No. So at the end of the day, Kuku focus on even more on ensuring that you build something that people will use. And like we said, high frequency, high intensity. Anything people are not going to use frequently and intensely, right, is really not going to be like super successful. Then in the context of interviews, since some of us will be looking for jobs, right, understand the company, understand what the company is looking for. Look at your strengths. Does your strength aligns with the company? If yes, go and table your strengths. Forget about experience. I don't have experience. I don't have. I keep hearing that thing. I know it's valid. It's a valid complaint, right? It's a valid complaint. But the truth is that it's also not still a valid complaint, because I've seen people with no experience do interesting stuff. I've seen people with no experience in product management get jobs that, even me, I did not get those kind of job in my first year. Right. We have one alumni at Ewenla, right? The guy is, I used to talk about him to some of our alumni. The guy is currently working with a German-based company and is earning 7,000 euros. Right, 7,000 euros. And even me, I'm always even me, I do not earn 7,000 euros, right? In my second year in product management. This guy learns product management in 2022 at Ewenla, and in 2024 is in Germany, is earning 7,000 euros, is doing his masters on a monthly basis. 7,000 euros. That's about about 80 something thousand euros on a yearly basis. Right. So, and this guy did not have any tech background. So how come he has gone from learning product management in 2022 to doing what he's doing now in 2024? Because he did not get that job immediately, by the way. Right. He first got one small job in Nigeria first. They were paying him like 150K, then he did that one for like almost a year. Then he left that place before he now got this Germany one more recently this year. I think earlier this year or late last year. And then he relocated to Germany, and the rest is history. So, and he does not have any tech background, right? Long story cut short, understand what the company is looking for. Look at your strengths. Does it align with them? And then table your strengths. Forget about, I don't have product management experience. I don't have product management experience. Yes, you don't have product management experience, but do you have, like we said, domain expertise, right? If you've worked in financial services, can you go to fintechs? You have better leverage there. If you're a lawyer, can you find legal companies that are trying to build legal products? If you are in logistics, can you find logistics companies that are trying to build logistics products? If you have experience in insurance, can you find, tech companies that are trying to build insurance products in the tech industry, or insurance tech company? If you're in transportation, can you find transport companies that are trying to build applications for their transport company? There's so many diverse ways you can look. If you're in travel and tourism, can you find companies like Wakana, travel.com, or Travel Better, or Travel Start, that are building products around that area, or bookings.com? If you're in travel and tourism, if you're in aviation, can you go to all these AirPiece, all of them, United Nigeria, Arik Air, they all have websites. Who is managing it for them? Some of them have apps. I think AirPiece, well, most times we look on their website. Who is managing the website for them? Do you think the website is managed on its own? It's not managed by ordinary staff now. There's most likely a product team that is managing. Either they have those product team internally, or the product team is outsourced. Coco is that product team is managing AirPiece websites, United Nigeria, Arik, Aero, all of them. And we want to take it globally. There's Qatar, there is UAE, and there's Qatar Airways, there's Emirates, there's Virgin Atlantic. There's so many areas that we can explore that a lot of people are not exploring when it comes to getting jobs, right? It's not just, the regular way. And I think in Nigeria, the regular way is fintech. And fintech is like the regular way, is the most popular space. But you don't have to limit yourself to the fintech space. right? It's just that fintech companies are more popular, and the companies that are doing well in the tech space in Nigeria, they are largely fintech. So, it's a no-brainer why that is happening. But still, that does not mean that all of us are going to work in fintech. It's not possible because there are all opportunities every other place. If you do your research now, you might say, I don't know if Epis is outsourcing their technical team, but let's even say they're outsourcing their technical team. Can you find the company that is the agency that is maybe managing Epis website, for example, and apply to a job there if you're interested in aviation and you have some kind of experience in aviation? So all these things are just one thing. Please focus on doing more than learning. So that'll be all. Do the 7 things next year and see your product management career take a flight. Any questions? Any questions? If you understand what I've just explained so far, drop an emoji. If you understand what I've just explained, an emoji. Okay, so I'm going you guys take the lessons and you run with it. If you have questions, you can raise up your hand. I can only take 2 questions before we call it a wrap. If you have questions, raise up your hand. Okay, Jen. All right, Jen, let's take your question. Jen, go ahead.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, so I had a question in my head back when we were talking about side businesses.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of my career, while I was still learning product management, what they said then was, if you want to become a product manager, build something or sell something.
Yeah.
So what I got in was selling books on Amazon. And
Okay.
I did and it earned me a lot of money. Even till date, it's still earning me. But I always
Yes.
feel kind of insecure about it because it's actually not a tech product. It's just
It's just a business.
just a book. Yes. So whenever they ask me in applications, or what unique thing have you built, it always feels somehow adding it to the application. So I'm not sure if I should still keep on with this business or I should start something in tech. I just need advice in that area.
Okay. So very good question. And you say you've made a lot of money in selling books on Amazon. Yeah, Ebola, let us share. She send my account. You can send me small
Yes.
Christmas. But yeah, that's just in a lighter mood. Please don't feel insecure about it. You can put it on your CV. Anybody that knows me well knows that I used to tell people to put their business on their CV. Right? You can put it on your CV, but you not put on your CV and call it CEO. Put on your CV as product manager, the name of the business. Right? Now, when they ask you questions in interview about it, you don't talk about it like it's your business. Talk about it like it's a product. Do you understand? Don't talk about it like it's a business. Talk about it like it's a product. So, for example, you sell books on Amazon, right? And you sell number of books. So the question is, what problem are you trying to solve selling books on Amazon? People don't have maybe access to these resources. People don't have access to those books, or people don't know that those books exist for them to buy. That's the problem you're trying to solve. Who is your target audience? People that read books, right? So how do they find you on Amazon? What do you do to get popularity or get exposure for your Amazon page? Those are what you do in product management. How do you serve them as a customer in terms of customer experience, right? How do you ensure that they buy from you, they buy another book from you the next time? So you talk about what you did in your business as a bookseller on Amazon. You talk about it like it's a product management thing. It's not just something that you just need to learn, right? To talk about it like it's a product management thing. Don't talk about it like you are selling books. Don't go via the route of, I sell books on Amazon. You're not really hidden on there. But when you talk about like, I have a product where we drive sales of book on Amazon. You see that there's a difference. Instead of saying I sell book on Amazon, I have a product where we facilitate book sales on Amazon. You see that it sounds different, even though it's the same thing. It's just English,
Yes.
right? Instead of saying I sell book on Amazon, you can say something like I have a product or I manage a product where we facilitate book sales on Amazon. Yeah, you're basically saying the same thing, but with different English, and it will communicate something different. So what you just need to learn to do is learn to restructure, if possible. So I encourage writing it out. Write it out and say, okay, if anybody asks you about your experience as a product manager, put the Amazon business, write the name of the business, you put it on your CV, you put product manager, the name of the business, and then now write what you did in the business like it's a product management responsibility. Oh, got so percentage in customer increase month on month. Conducted user research to understand, what books people like to read, what books are popular that people like to buy, created campaigns to drive exposure of the page on Amazon. You can see that I'm not more talking about it like I'm selling book. You see that the way I'm
Yeah.
structuring my English. So that's how you have to approach it. Right. So please don't feel insecure at all at all. Product management skills can be leveraged in business and in short can be added to your CV. You can put the name of your business, put product manager beside it on your CV. If anybody asks you, talk about it like it's a product management thing, right? Until they maybe drill down and start saying, okay, what is the thing about? You can ask, okay, yeah, the product is about book sales on Amazon. That will even show that you're smart. How did you think about it in that direction? Do you get? So yes, that'll be my answer to your question.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I
so please
appreciate it.
don't carry your shoulder pad very high. Oh. You're doing well, especially if you say you're making money from it, then it means you're doing well. So carry your shoulder pad high and put it on your CV. In short, put it on your LinkedIn. If you want to be very, very confident, I used to tell people to do it. Put it on your LinkedIn. I have someone I told the guy has a food business, right? Where they sell food. And guess what he did? He put product manager, the name of his food business, bites and sips. And it's on his LinkedIn. And what they are selling is food. It's like a Chicken Republic, but it's just a small one, right? You just have one branch in Ibadan. But guess what? We put product manager, the name of the name of the restaurant, and we put it on his LinkedIn and on his CV. So, okay, Jane. Jane is Jane Bedford. GD would like to connect you to Jane. So maybe you guys can connect. Okay, let's take Vivian and we'll wrap up. Vivian, let's take your question.
Sorry, it wasn't intentional.
Oh, okay. You don't have a question, okay. Okay, well, that's fine then. All right, so I will assume that there are no other questions. Oh, okay, Farouk. Okay, Farouk, go ahead then. Okay, you said you dropped the question. Let me see.
Thank you very much for the wonderful session. My question is, what if someone has a work experience that they are not really similar, they are different, like we work in different industries? How do you structure yourself? Do you just pick ones that are related to what you're applying for? Or how do you go about that? I don't know if my question is clear.
You've worked in different industries. So if you work in different industries, your strength is that you have broad experience in terms of strength. So it means if you're looking for a job, you look for jobs where they'll probably value broad experience, someone that has broad experience. That's what's playing through my head. Especially if you have maybe you worked in transport, then you worked in finance one time, then you worked in insurance another time, then you worked in maybe aviation at that time. So you have a very broad, maybe e-commerce, a very broad experience. So it then means that your strengths will be that you have broad experience, or You look at all that different industry and then say, okay, which is your best, which is your strength, which do you enjoy the most, and then focus on that. So you can either use the broad experience as a leverage, right? When you're looking for jobs, or you pick one out of the experience that you know that you really enjoy and you want to stay with. So that would be my recommendation. I hope that answers your question, Farouk.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
But
Okay,
so
let's do.
someone focus on two jobs at a time. Is it possible?
Can someone focus on two jobs at a time, like two product management jobs?
No, not like let me say product management and another job that is in the tech world. Is it possible? Or you have to pick one over one?
It's possible. It's just that their workload should not be the same. If the workload is the same, it will affect. I said it earlier about even when you have a business, please, I'm repeating, when you have a business, even as a product manager, your business and your product management job should not be affected. You have to find that balance, right? Because if one is affected over the other, is not going to be very good, right? But if you're able to find the balance where both of them can play without significant impact on the other, then you're going to be good. So yes, it's possible. It's just that balance of not making sure that it affects the other one. Okay.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Look at it quickly. Look at it. So yeah, quickly. Look at it. Go ahead.
Okay, yes. Sorry, I don't know. I did not mute. Okay, so my question is: you are talking about broad experience. Does it have to be broad experience in your current role as a product manager, or you can be maybe while you work at a fintech company, you're like a customer service. When you work at another company, you are like a marketer. Does it have to be a product manager experience?
No, it doesn't have to. I think the only thing it should be customer facing. That's what I would say. If the role is customer facing, then it's good, right? So customer facing meaning that the role is a role that is customer facing. So customer facing roles will be customer experience, marketing, sales. Those are customer facing roles, right? So if it's customer facing role, it's good. It's only if it's not customer facing role, I would say it's a little bit more dicey. If it's not customer facing role. Right. You need at least some form of customer facing role to augment. Okay. Yeah, Ruben, let's take the final question. I'm supposed to have another meeting for 9. Yeah, final question, Ruben.
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Yeah. The question I wanted to ask is, can we do like a form of should we is differentiation really possible with creating an MVP with just 5 features? What I mean by differentiation now is something that makes us different from a similar product that's already out there, or like a product that is already out there.
Like it's
Given that
different.
we're working with just 5 features, is it really enough for us to make our product different from competitors, from that of the competitors?
Yeah, it's a yes and no. It's a yes and no. It's a yes and no. So yes, it is possible to be differentiated if the solution. Remember, I said earlier that focus on creating solution over product. Your product should be part of the solution. Do you understand? So if you focus on creating a MVP that only has 5 features, but the solution is holistic, then it will count. It will count. Do you get? So it's if the solution is not holistic now that we can start to say, oh, if the solution is not holistic now, that's when we can start to now say, okay, this, what's the word now? If the solution is not holistic, that's when we can start to see something else. Maybe, for example, is it going to be differentiated? Is it not going to be differentiated, and all of that, right? But if the solution is holistic, you can differentiate your product business wise if you have a holistic solution. You might just even have 3 features, but your solution is bigger than the 3 features in itself, just like we discussed earlier. So yes, that would be my answer to your question. Yes, it's possible to be differentiated with even your MVP. The MVP can be a differentiator. Okay, does that answer your question, Ruben? Okay, so that'll be all, guys. Thank you so much for being in this session. Thank you for riding with us in Overlab. There's a end of the year party tomorrow. I'm sure you guys know that. They want to do end of this session, and you're going to be giving gifts. They're going to be doing giveaways tomorrow evening, right? So we'll just use that to wrap up the year. So please join that session tomorrow evening. There's giveaways, there's Christmas gifts, there is party, there's singing, even though it's online, but we'll try to make it as fun as it can be, right? Even though it's online, please get ready to turn on your cameras. We're not going to be doing off camera tomorrow. This is on camera tomorrow. So turn on your camera, make sure you have lights. Come and be like us that have lights. Oh, good. But yeah, let's come together
So
tomorrow
please drop the
evening.
link in the community group so we can join, please. Thank you.
All right, let's just come tomorrow evening and just come and wrap up the year in style and just, finish up 2024. Thank you so
Time.
much, everyone. What do you
What's the
say?
time? What's the time, please?
I think it's 7 p.m. 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. I think it's 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. Yes, it's 7 p.m. Favor share the flyer already. So yeah, let's do that tomorrow and we'll wrap up 2024. That'll be like the last session for the year. Thank you so much, everyone. Have yourself a good evening. I wish you guys all the best. So we see tomorrow and then we'll wrap up everything tomorrow during the community hangouts, digital hangout tomorrow evening. Thank you, everyone. Have yourself a good evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We see you tomorrow by 7 p.m. Thank you.